and welcome to Blockchain Gaming World with me, John Jordan. So in this video we're going to take a look at some of the new ERC20 tokens on the Ethereum blockchain that have been coming out, specifically that have been coming out for games. So on Ethereum we've had a lot of NFTs. Obviously that's going to be the main focus up to this point, really, has been people doing games with NFTs. And now we're just starting to see tokens coming back into it, which is in some ways interesting. We've had on the Tron and EOS blockchains, they don't have such good NFT standards, so they're very much more about tokens, and that's how their kind of game economies work. On Ethereum, it's all really been about NFTs, but we are starting to see some tokens. Obviously, we have had tokens in the past, back when we had the kind of ICO boom back in the 2017-18 days. We had stuff like Mana from Decentraland, which is still going kind of strong. We've had Engine Coin as well, which is again still going fairly strong. Actually, the price of that has been pretty good recently. A few other ones kind of a bit more, I guess, kind of obscure, like the kind of the Reality Clash coin has been knocking around. But the big one that's launched recently, let's go and have a look, is REVV. So here we can see REVV. This is just Uniswap. So Uniswap is an automated market maker. So this is just a decentralized exchange that anyone can create an exchange for, effectively. Anyone with a token, in this case it would be some REVV tokens and some ETH, can create a liquidity pool which allows people to trade. So Animoca Brands, the company behind REVV, which is the token for their various motorsport games, the F1 Delta Time game, the Motor GP game, and one other unannounced game that's coming out at some point next year, I imagine, 2021. Anyway, REVV is the token that is working in all those games in various ways. It's like a payment method, it's like a dividend, it's like a staking token, lots of different things you can do with it. But they've launched this in the last couple of days. And all they did was they set up on Uniswap, they set up a liquidity pool between REVV and ETH. They dumped a bunch of ETH in it, they dumped a bunch of REVV in it, they set the initial kind of exchange rate, what they thought was a good exchange rate, and they just let people buy and sell. So obviously you could, if you wanted to buy REVV, you could go in and buy REVV. If you had REVV already, not many people did, but if you had REVV and you wanted to get some ETH out, you could do that. So let's go and have a look. We can see here some stats. This is what this is Uniswap stat page for their V2, the version 2 of their AMM. This is just saying there's a safety alert, so anyone can create an ERC20 token. So be careful that the one you think you're looking at is the one you're looking at. If you're not sure, look at the contract on Etherscan. Obviously, this is blockchain, so we can check stuff. So here we see the REVV ETH pair. This is the only liquidity pool it looks like we have at the moment. So we have total liquidity. So this is how much value is available in this liquidity pool. So $243,903. We can see the volume over the last 24 hours is almost $54,000. So liquidity has actually gone up over the last 24 hours. 25% volume has gone down and fees have gone down. This is because the thing launched on the 4th of September, so lots of activity then kind of dropped off a little bit. Should point out, while the F1 Delta Time game is kind of launched, the REVV stuff, the REVV doesn't feature in that at the moment. It's almost like a mini game, really. So the games that will back this token up are not really launched yet. So this is a more kind of speculative sort of activity going on here. We can see here though, so volume, which is people trading in and out, the total value of people trading. Doesn't matter if they're trading ETH for REVV or REVV for ETH, 54,000, and the fees. So one of the things about Uniswap that's made it very popular is if you have REVV and ETH, or even I think now if you just have one of these, you can add liquidity. So you can just go in and you can basically effectively lock your tokens into this liquidity pool. And the point of doing that is you gain a share of the fee. So anytime someone trades in and out of the liquidity pool, there's a 0.3% fee, which goes to the people who are providing the liquidity. So you could, if you had put all the liquidity in, this is what you would be earning. So obviously people want to put their liquidity into pools that are having lots of trading. At the moment, this is not a high volume pool, but there we go. So you can see here liquidity has started off at $283,000, dropped off a little bit, but hasn't collapsed. Volume, you can see how much trading was going on here. If it loads, it's looking like it's not going to do that. It's saying this is untracked, isn't it? And we can here now look at the price. So this is how much rev you get per ETH. So it looks like it's been fairly steady now. Currently 23,000 rev to 1 ETH, or we can look at it the other way around if we want to do it that way around. So that's the stats on that. So Rev has launched. Not really much, not an awful lot of trends over the last kind of few days. We can see there is 333 ETH and 7.8 million Rev in the making up the liquidity pool. And that always obviously tries to keep, the point of an AMA always tries to keep this in balance. So there's always the same amount of Rev and ETH in terms of their value. And we can just see here, as it's a blockchain, we can see what's going on. So we can see here someone sold 33,644 Rev and they got 1.47 ETH back out 17 minutes ago, and that total value of that trade was $508.57. So we can just see people trading in and out. People are swapping Rev for ETH. People are swapping Rev for ETH. People are so this person, wow, added almost $44,000 into the liquidity pool. So they added 64 ETH and 1.4 million Rev. Looks like at the moment people are generally swapping. Oh no, these are. So sorry, I was going to say that those three are swapping Rev for ETH. These are swapping ETH for Rev. It's quite small amounts. People are just kind of messing around, not messing around. But people are just doing little things to see how it works. So that's Rev. We can also have a look at some other tokens. So the other one that's kind of obvious at the moment is Sand and ETH. So Sand is the ERC20 token in the Sandbox game. I'm not quite sure why that's not showing. I think I hit the wrong pair there. So here we go, Sand versus ETH. So Sand ERC20 token is going to be running the Sandbox game. And we can see here, this has been out for a bit longer. This actually launched on the Binance exchange, centralized exchange. They sold about $3 million worth, I think. And then obviously, once people have got it in their wallets, it started to spread out into the decentralized world. So we can see actually lower liquidity than we saw on Rev. So $150,000 worth of liquidity. And we can see that's been rising quite heavily. So that's because people are bringing it out of Binance. The volume $16,600. So that's been increasing. Fees almost $50 of fees. So you can just see how obviously the volume is driving the fees. And we have 217 ETH and 2 million Sand tokens in the liquidity pool. Again, we can see what people are doing, swapping in and out, fairly small sums. That are happening at the moment. Volume wise, we're going to get this time. No, it's not. It's untracked again. But we can look at the price here. So price is actually going up. In the sense that that's actually bad, isn't it? So you're getting more Sand for your ETH. So actually the price is going kind of down in dollar terms. The price is going down. Is that right? Yeah. Yeah. So there we go. Price is going down again. This is at the moment there's not a lot of point kind of trading on this sort of stuff because the game's not out yet and won't be out for I don't know. It hasn't got a release date. But people are doing this for speculative reasons at the moment. So there's no you can't use Sand at all. So there we go. What else can we have a look at? Let's have a think. I guess Small Off Potion. Small Off Potion is from the Axie Infinity game. It's a utility token. So we can see here there's a Small Off Potion ETH pair and a Small Off Potion Candy pair. Not quite sure what Candy is. And there's this one here which looks like it's a bit of a fake. Someone's maybe trying to do some scamming there. So we'll choose the right one and we'll see if this launches. Again, let's sort this out. Oh, there we go. Pops in. So again, here this is total liquidity $26,000. So again, it's pretty small. Fees again. Oh, it's 24 hours. Let's have a look a bit longer. So there's been quite a lot of speculation around the Small Off Potion price over the last kind of month or so. It tends to go up or down when people are kind of speculating in and out. But we can see over the last 24 hours, yeah, pretty small, same as the sand token, although with small off potion you can use it. So you use it in breeding in Axie Infinity, and we can start to see some of the trades. So what are people doing? Again, fairly small amounts. Here's a $1,000 worth. So there we can go. We can see the price hikes here. So at its peak, it had $51,000 worth of liquidity, and then this dropped down because people were trading it out. So that's probably not give us anything there. And let's see if we can pull this out. So you see the price going up and down. So yeah, let me see. I think we need to go out further, but there we go. So we can see, yeah, there's a big spike here, dropped off again, but it's still much higher than it was before, and then kind of, yeah, it goes up and down. So there we go. Is there one more to have a look at? Let's have a think. Oh yes, last one I'll have a look at while I'm looking at the ERC20 tokens. Our old friend, the wrapped CryptoKitty. So wrapped CryptoKitty is a really odd one. Nothing going on with it. So wrapped CryptoKitties is you take a CryptoKitty and you lock it, and you get an ERC20 token, and you can reverse it. So again, this is a really small pool. It looks like there's no trading at all in this at the moment. I don't know if it's gonna pull anything up. See the last transaction. Oh, there you go. So someone, let's have a look what they did. They sold 180 wrapped CryptoKitty tokens. So it's literally 180 CryptoKitties. They sold that for 0.3 effectively ETH. But it's, yeah, you can see there's not a lot of trading going on in wrapped CryptoKitties, which is probably because there's not a lot going on with CryptoKitties because of the gas fee. But there we go. The ETH is only 6.7 ETH. Oh, there we go. It finally comes up. So anyway, this is kind of why it's quite interesting to use Uniswap. You can kind of get a look at some of these trends, particularly liquidity is interesting. Because that kind of people tend to be putting liquidity into things they think are going to have high volumes, because high volumes means they earn high fees. And some of these niche pairs are kind of interesting because a lot of people won't understand what's going on here. So if you suddenly get, when the sandbox launches or the F1 game launches, you might suddenly get quite a lot of trading into those pools. So kind of worth keeping an eye on. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. This is Blockchain Gaming World. And yeah, we're interested in the world of blockchain games, so always kind of poking around, seeing what's going on. Interested in how these new kind of tokens and these new economies are going to work. So if you're interested in that, please do subscribe. But thanks for watching the video, and hope to see you again soon.